And it is indeed a pleasure to serve under your chair. And I'd like to thank the honourable member for Arborough, Oadby and Wigston for securing this very important day. It's just a shame that there's not more people in here today. I take issue with... I want to choose my words very, very carefully in this debate because words and language are important. But we need to get tough in this place about this problem, this illegal migration. And I keep hearing time and time again that these people are fleeing war-torn countries. They are desperate people fleeing persecution. Well, let me tell you this. I've been to France. It's quite a nice place. There's no war in France. They're not persecuted in France. And I served on the Home Affairs Select Committee for 2 years. I went to the camps in Calais, and these young men, and the first thing we noticed was they were all young men. There was no women, no children, no families. They were young men between the ages of about 16, 17 and 30. And they all said the same things to us. El Dorado. They would point at the White Cliffs of Dover and say El Dorado. They wanted to come to this country because they thought that the streets were paved with gold. And they are paved with gold if you're coming from a country like Eritrea or Sudan. And the most annoying part for me was there was a charity there called Care for Calais. And these would attract these people. They'd give them the coordinates in whichever country they came from. They would take weeks and weeks or months to get there. Once they got to the camp, the Care for Calais would set up a school, teach them how to learn English, how to speak English, how to write in English. They'd give them new phones, new data, shelter, whatever, and get them ready for the crossing to the UK. And then I just take issue with the honourable member. He said once they get to England, then they're never leaving. It's once they get in the Channel. Once they get in the Channel, they're picked up and ferried to our country. And when they get to our country, they're placed in hotels.
There's a division now. I'll call Lee Anderson to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. And once the illegal migrants, and let's get the wording right, they are illegal migrants, get into this country, there's no way they're ever going to be deported, only in very rare circumstances. But the most important thing for me is to get the terminology right. They are illegal migrants. They are young men coming into our country. And quite frankly, and you can say what you want about me, I don't want these people in my country. They have broken into our country. They have thrown their documents away. They're undocumented. We don't know where they've come from. We don't know what they've been up to in their own countries. We don't know whether or not they're criminals. We don't know what their intentions are when they get here. And we are a soft touch. These are illegal migrants posing as asylum seekers. And we've heard some horrific cases over the past 2 years of some of these illegal migrants being granted asylum status and then going on to commit horrific crimes. Again, abusing our asylum system. We hear reports, I get the reports as a Member of Parliament, and I know my colleagues do, of young undocumented men roaming around our town centres, intimidating people. This has got to stop. Yet we see the NGOs, we see the lefty lawyers, we see the Labour Party, all together. They're encouraging these illegal migrants to come over the Channel by using this same old slogan, smash the gangs. And I'm telling everybody in this room that this smash the gangs is a complete nonsense. You have to stop the pull factor for people coming to this country. These young men in northern France, and I've been to the camps, as I said before, once they get into the Channel, they're in this country. We may stop 100 boats in a month, but those same people will get onto another boat and keep coming. And once they're in this country, they're absolutely going nowhere. And they are costing us an absolute fortune. At the same time as we're waiting for a vote to rob our pensioners of their winter fuel payment, supported by the government, we are spending nearly £6–7 billion a year on illegal migration. Now, I've got about a minute left, but I'll tell you a quick story. In 1941, my granddad, Charles William Waterfield, he left the Nottinghamshire coalfields. He left the pit before mining became a reserved occupation. He put a uniform on and he went to North Africa. And he left a wife and 2 children behind to fight for king and country. He did that. He didn't run away. He didn't go to another country and leave his wife and children behind, which is exactly what these young men are doing. They're leaving women and children behind in a supposedly war-torn country. And quite frankly, I don't want these sort of people in my country, and neither does the vast majority of the British public. Thank you.